Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome to NBA 2K20. This is a MyLeague Let's Play. It's going to be episode number 1. First off, I want to thank my community for those who participated in our vote on a Steam Summer Sale edition. This is that edition. If you want to join that community, be sure to like and subscribe as we go forward. And this is a MyLeague custom team. We are the Cascasdia Evergreens, and we are now prepared for our expansion draft. As we go forward, we only added in the one team. Each existing team in the NBA had the right to protect their first 8 players on their roster, leaving us potentially the 9th player on down to the end of the roster, which means chances are we are going to end up with, well, a pretty bottom of the barrel set of players. But let's head into that expansion draft and see what we can get. Best player available is MILLSAP, at least according to overall averages, assuming that it's going to be challenging through the first season or two based on what's available to me. I would assume that I'm going to have to take a step back or two, maybe grab some young players that can develop and not too many veteran players, as I definitely don't think we're in a win now scenario. MILLSAP's not a terrible choice, but at 34, his overall rating is probably going to drop. Ibaka has almost no chance of me signing him for similar reasons, even though he's only 30 years old, but again, last year of the contract. But let's do this the easy way and kind of break it down positionally as I go to choose my first 5. And if I go for a veteran for a starter, I would certainly go for a young player as their backup. In my first 2 selections, I'm going to grab a veteran and a prospect. Mike Conley at 79 overall, but 32 years of age, getting paid a lot of money, but I'm only going to grab 2 or 3 veterans, and otherwise we're going to have a very young squad. Conley, and then JEROME, the prospect, 72 overall right now, multiple years left on the deal. You've got outside shooting in Conley and perimeter defense, something I'm really looking forward to. Playmaking ability are the big things, but it's the potential. For Conley at A+, I don't know if that means he'll hang on better than others, meaning he shouldn't drop off. I certainly hope that's the case. He's got a couple years left on his deal. And then JEROME with A potential should develop pretty rapidly, and so we'll pick these guys up first. Moving on to the shooting guard position, Malik Beasley seems a natural choice for me. One of the best shooting guards and small forwards available. Has high potential, just 22 years of age, and has an excellent outside shot. Pretty good mid-range jumper as well. So Malik Beasley, we'll grab him for sure. A little worried about him being on the last year of the deal, but I don't think we'll have too much trouble re-signing him, though I would assume it's going to be for quite a bit more than he's making now. For my second shooting guard, I'm going to go with D'Anthony Melton. High potential. Definitely the best at the position other than Wes Matthews, but Matthews is 33. 77 overall already, so he can certainly contribute. Really good playmaker, can double down as a third point guard. Good perimeter defense. One thing I pride myself on is pressuring higher than most other players would. And quite affordable also in the last year of the deal, but that's okay. At 26 years of age, Otto Porter is easily the best small forward available, 78 overall. He's making $27 million, but again, we're not going to have that much in terms of payroll. Also, good potential to still develop quite a bit. Good outside shooter. A little lacking in certain ways, though. Really is, got to admit, but he can certainly score for us. Next, we go for Caldwell Pope, who is a shoot from anywhere kind of guy And not only that, is a defensive-minded, or at least outside defense, and can actually play make a little bit, so he can contribute in multiple ways to the offense. As we move down into the post, I'd love to look past Paul Millsap at 34 years of age. However, I really just cannot afford to, for the level of contribution that he can make to this team early on. 30 million, so probably the last spendy player that we can afford to go for, but he can score anywhere, including as a stretch four, which there aren't many out there, though the quantity has certainly grown in recent years. But the defense, inside and out, is really unmatched and great IQ. To be honest, as somebody who has grown up in the Portland area and as a Blazers fan, he almost single-handedly took the Blazers down in last year's playoffs. It was not any of the big names for Denver. It was Paul Millsap who almost got the job done for them. Regardless of current ability, Grant Williams is a player that I have no choice but to go for. At just 20 years of age and A-plus potential. At a 71 overall, he might be able to contribute a little bit for us, but is an easy selection. While he won't help us stretch the court with an F from three-point range, decent inside threat, great inside defense, and great rebounding, along with pretty good IQ, plus still a little bit of potential for the 27-year-old. Bismack Biyombo is going to help us clean the glass. Kabengele is going to add great potential, pretty good inside defense, rebounding, and a decent shot inside. And at a 72, he's not that far off, contributing in a decent way, and just 22 years of age, a couple years left on the deal. He'll round out our first two players at each position. Looking for one additional point guard, we go for 23-year-old Aaron Holiday, who can play the two guard as well. He's a 75 overall already. Has good, not the best potential. Good playmaker, one key thing that I was looking for. But also has an excellent outside shot. So if he kicks back out, he does help us keep that floor stretched. Next up is the hard to pronounce Jakob Poeltl. Poeltl with good inside scoring, decent mid-range, pretty good inside defense, but great rebounding and pretty good potential. It's a 78 overall already at just 24 years of age. With a lack of defense and rebounding, I wouldn't put Stanley Johnson as a power forward, but as a small forward, Stanley Johnson has the ability to shoot anywhere, has good perimeter defense, and pretty good potential to develop, and we can boost up his inside D and his rebounding over time and potentially get him somewhere, or at least put him in as trade bait. For our final pick, I just can't look past the shooting ability of Bogdanović. He can play the 2 or 3 and can really give us something this first season that most other players can't. And at $8.5 million, that is really a steal for us. Problem is he lacks in so many other places, but he can play make. He's got decent physicals, IQ, and still has some potential and may develop a little bit more. So I suppose it's not a bad place to go. And if he doesn't settle in nicely, then I could easily move him through trade. Breaking it down by overall quality, the big star for the team is Paul Millsap. Bogdanović, Conley, Beasley, so 2 strong shooting guards, Porter, and Biyombo. Gives us a relatively balanced squad, even though I think we are still going to be a notch below most of the league. But with a lot of decent young talent following that up, And especially with the potential, I think we could develop something pretty good. I've got a lot of defense within the team. Definitely one of the things I pride myself on, as well as some decent rebounders. And while not everybody's a scorer, just about everybody's at least capable in one area. I mean, JEROME's not an inside scorer, the only one who's pretty poor scoring inside, but then has okay mid-range, outside shooting, and is that young prospect with high potential. One piece of good news is we enter the power rankings not in last, but 22nd overall. Still means lottery most likely, especially as we're playing in the Western Conference, but I like our chances of getting some results this season. We head into our first ever game with a lineup that it's Cleveland, one of the worst teams in the league. And we don't match up terribly well, but in a way, looking at those starting five, the ups and downs of that Cleveland roster, got a chance.
Welcome everyone to a brand new season of NBA basketball. I'm sure you're as excited as all of us are here at 2K Sports as we get ready to start the season in style. With Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. On the sidelines, we have David Aldridge reporting. We'll see the Cleveland Cavaliers and the home team. Look at Cleveland's starting group. Ashman and Love are the forwards. Garland and Sexton man the backcourt.
Alright, so as we get our first game, I can take a quick look at the arena as we give up an easy layup on the first play of the game. Carefully orchestrated stadium here, but otherwise we are... Oh, tipped. Would have been an easy too if he doesn't get a hand on that. Probably should have floated it. So here's the thing about me as I trail early in this game, making a couple of mistakes, offense and defense already. Last year I played my player. A couple of years ago I played my player. And I have not played a full team version of this game in about 4 or 5 years now. So it has been a while. As don't know what happened to MILLSAP coming back down the court there. He was well behind the play. I picked it up with Conley, but as if Conley's going to be able to do anything there. Go up, before you get 3 in the key. Oh, wow. I should have put that up, but... finally go to the free throw line. It's a real rough start to the game. I'm going to go ahead and push forward a little ways, and hopefully I will settle down and we'll keep this score a little tight as we trail early on. Little expansion trouble early on in this one, both for the quality of my team, but likewise my own quality. In scrimmage head-to-head against my own teammates, I actually did fine, but actually up here against a team, this is a very different matchup. I could fight to get inside, but I just cannot convert. And nobody's getting open outside on the perimeter. And then defensively, this keeps happening over and over again. And I have some speed on this team, and yet we just keep getting beat simply coming back down the court. Over and over, there's a guy open inside. Oh, Jordan Bell. If only I could have you on my team. I wish he was available. I would have been happy to have Jordan Bell. Biombo, what? How'd you lose that one? Even when I defend things well, the rebound is going to somebody else down low. Even when we fight for, can't get boards. So really, really struggling to defend the post. Really struggling to score down in the post. Nobody's getting open. I haven't had one open look for 3 yet. We've converted a single field goal in that first quarter, and here we are already well into the second. So let's see if we can get things going. Definitely struggled early on, but coming back a little bit, down 13 here. We were down by, I think, 18, so starting to get the hang of this team, what they're capable of against actual opponents. There we go. Good defense there. Oh, in and out. That was unlucky. Ah! Own teammate blocked me off as I'm going down the court on the sprint, trying to keep up with my man. Nope, pick and roll works. Definitely better than that first quarter. Getting beat way too easy on top. Conley's not holding up his guys well. Ooh, nice alley-oop. Again, Conley, though. Conley's defense really has been a point of concern as we approach the end of the first half. And after we close the gap a bit, we've gone right back behind. Can't convert it. So trailing 33-16 in our first game. Now here's my intentions on this series. I am not going to be playing every game live. We're going to be keeping things moving pretty quick as we try to build this franchise from not quite worst to first, but we're losing pretty bad to just about the worst right now as it is. My intention is to play about 10% of the games. Couple buckets back to back, block in the middle. Big step for us, but obviously I'm massively overmatched at the moment. I mean, even when I'm tight on my guy, I just cannot get in front of them defensively. That's been a real problem for me thus far in this game. But we make 3 in a row, and we're back down within 20. So, game 1 certainly looking like a loss, but we still have a little over a quarter to play. We'll see what we can do. And one opportunity here for Podol. Still down 22. Quick look at the uniform here up close. That is supposed to represent the Evergreens that we are as a mascot. Team defense absolutely killing me in this one as I get into that scenario where I'm defending it well and then all of a sudden somebody down low is wide open, getting underneath their man again and again and again throughout the game. There's been at least 30 points that have come that way from a man slipping underneath. There it is again. Final minute of our opening loss.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start.
That's definitely a tough shot. But nothing's materializing. I'm not getting movement off the ball very well at all. But I'm not calling plays a whole lot. Pick and roll really only. So I've got a lot to learn as I'm used to playing one player down low, worried about my position. And I just have not done the switch off. Getting a little late on that one. Fortunate they missed. That one was definitely my bad. Holiday doesn't finish with the dunk as expected, but he does finish. Final 24 seconds of this one.
Some nice passing by Cleveland here.
12 seconds. That has happened to me quite a bit this game, where we defend well for 20, 21, 22 seconds, and then the final couple seconds of the shot clock, we bail Cleveland out with a foul and put them on the line. 8 seconds left in this one, so this will be the final play after Love's free throws here. I don't know what he's still doing in the game, though. 27-point lead, and the team's biggest name. Not best player, but biggest name.
Because you can't get too physical with him. You can run your offense through him late game. Kevin Love brings so much to the table.
Both free throws good from Love.
There's been talk a lot the last couple seasons to bring him home to Portland. Oh, and the hard foul from Love. Really? 2 seconds left of the game and you're going to take a guy down like that? A little early. Got it, though. Hey, we break 40. Of course, with the time, the score's not expected to be too high. First quarter offense was really bad. Second quarter and through the rest of the game, offense was certainly improved. You know, if you take out that first quarter, I'd be closer to about 50. But defensively, really struggled all game long in the way that I mentioned in particular. So I've got a lot of work to do, a lot of rust to shake off it. Like I said, it's been years since I've done full team control. So it showed at times, and I was pretty atrocious. But my AI defense was as bad, if not worse, than my personal man-to-man defense. So a lot needs to happen there going forward. But again, this playthrough is as much about the GM as it's going to be about playing games, as I'm only playing 8 to maybe 10 games per season. But we open with a big loss, scaled up to 56 points. Ouch. As we played half a game, and the simulation is scaled up. So a lot of work to do, but like I said, the AI is going to handle the next handful of games, and it's a start. You got to start somewhere. We are an expansion team that literally had nothing more than every team's 9th player and below available to us. I'm surprised with that we were able to get as much talent as we were, but at that same time, we lack a real competitiveness. I think there's going to be a lot of losses in this first season. We're going to have to start making some moves. That's going to do it for this opener, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that like button. Also, subscribe for more content. I've got a lot of sports games and strategy games on the channel. And it's been growing pretty rapidly as of late. Just recently passed 1,000 subscribers for the first time. And already a quarter of that has been added on in a very short period of time following that milestone. I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.